So welcome again to Highland Park. Now we're up to the 25-year-old. Now the 25-year-old is, it's a bit difficult. This is what I would describe as a whiskey drinker's whiskey. If you're new to whiskey and you want to try something different, please stay away from the 25-year-old. If you're a whiskey drinker and you've been doing it for years, you're okay. The reason for that is the 25-year-old is designed to give you an Orcadian experience. When you come to the island, the winds and the weather conditions around the island can at times be quite severe. I mean, you have over 100 miles an hour of winds for over 80 hours in the year. That's why there are no trees on Orkney. So when you come off the plane or you come off the boats, what usually happens is you see all these guys from foreign climes, with 5 jackets on, 3 jumpers, 2 hats and a pair of gloves, shivering, going, why am I here? But then, after about half a day, they realise it's not that cold. It's just the wind is just constant, and then they begin to see the rest of the islands. You see all these historic monuments, and it arguably is one of the most beautiful islands on the planet. That is what the 25-year-old's like. You're going to get a bit of pain up front. You're going to get a bit of a fright, but if you just fight your way through the pain, then you get the reward at the end. So, no pain, no gain, as it were. Right, here we go. Here we go. So to start with, this is the darkest whiskey we make currently. This is over 50%, this is 50% first fill sherry cask. So of all the casks we use, 50% are first fill sherry cask. That's why you get that big dark colour. Then we turn the whiskey 45 degrees and spin it all the way around. And we hold it up straight, and you look at the line of whiskey that appears at the top. You'll notice that the tears and legs are very, very small. That's because it's high in alcohol. This is at 48.1% alcohol. Now, that's why there is the pain in this whiskey. It's the high alcohol that does it. What I want you to do now is this. Take a smell, 3 times. It should jump up your nose, quite aggressive on the nose, and that's because of the high alcohol. It is very, very sweet. It's the sweetest whiskey we make. Big vanilla note right the way throughout this whiskey. If you like things like white chocolate, or if you describe it in any other way yourself, it's entirely up to you. But the 25-year-old for me, it's the sensations in the aftertaste that really class this whiskey. Now, what I want you to do is this. Take a sip and chew it. Cheers. Just chew it, and chew it, chew it, chew it, chew it, chew it. And swallow. And what should happen is this. The front of your tongue should go on fire. Then your lips might tingle. You might even lose a feeling in your fingers and toes. Don't worry. Bear with it, fight with it. Once that tingling sensation begins to subside, your mouth will dry, and it will stay dry for a very long time. It's a very spicy aftertaste. Things like cinnamon and nutmeg is what we're looking for on the palate. And then after a good minute, your mouth will naturally recover and get that moisture back into the mouth, and that's when that gentle, smoky aftertaste happens. That's why Highland Park 25-year-old is a whiskey drinker's whiskey. Now, for me personally, depending on the country I'm in at the time of drinking, will depend on how I do it. I like my whiskey a little bit smokier. Highland Park 25-year-old is a great example of what water can do to whiskey. If you add a couple of drops to Highland Park 25-year-old, this is what happens. When you add water to whiskey, you're not really diluting it down. All you're doing is breaking the surface tension across the top of the glass and allowing the aromas to escape, so they're more accessible, they're easier to pick up. With Highland Park 25-year-old, if you add about a quarter of the amount of water as there is whiskey in the glass, you bring the alcohol content down. What that does is that pulls the sweetness back and allows the smoke to escape. So if you like your whiskey a little bit smokier, that's what you would do with this whiskey. Add a little bit of water, sweetness comes back, smokiness comes through, and you get a completely different whiskey. So depending on my mood, depending which country I'm in, will depend on what I'm doing. Because it's currently 4 degrees here in Orkney, I'm going to drink it straight to help myself warm up. Cheers.